If you're looking to retire in the next handful of years, or even the next couple of months, you may be wondering, how do I take this nest egg that I've built and turn it into the income I need to live the retirement that I want to live? Well, today we're going to show you how to calculate that paycheck, how to generate the paycheck, and how to structure your portfolio so that paycheck comes in a consistent monthly way. Hi, I'm Steve. I'm a certified financial planner, and I've been helping hundreds of individuals transition from working into retirement in a confident and successful way. So you've been working for the last 10, 20, 30, maybe even 40 years. Every 2 weeks or every month, you're getting a consistent paycheck coming in, which is a confidence and feels comfortable. Bills add up, an expensive trip, you know that you're gonna get a paycheck and be able to pay for the higher credit card bill or whatever other expenses that come up. In retirement, you're no longer working. That paycheck has stopped. And so it can be very concerning. It can be a little bit of something that people worry about, how they're going to replicate that consistent income coming in and be able to do that without causing massive fluctuations in the principal of their portfolio. So today, I want to show you how to calculate the number you need to take off of your portfolio and then how to structure your portfolio to make sure that you're getting that paycheck replacement. So the first thing you need to figure out is what you need on a monthly or annual basis to live off. What is the dream retirement situation that you need to live the life that you want to continue? So in this scenario, let's assume that it's $10,000 a month or $120,000 a year. From that, then you need to subtract what your guaranteed income is that's coming in. So for many people, that's Social Security. For some people, they got a pension. Others, there's annuities that they've built to create a pension for themselves. So in this scenario, let's assume that you have $6,000 of guaranteed income coming in from Social Security and pensions combined. So I now have my need, $120,000 a year or $10,000 a month, guaranteed income of $72,000 a year or $6,000 a month. And now I have my gap. My gap is now $4,000 a month or $48,000 a year. And so now I need to figure out how to generate that from the portfolio. In this scenario, let's assume that you have a portfolio value of $1.5 million. So if I take 48 and divide it by 48,000 divided by $1.5 million, that's a little over 3%, 3.2% to be exact. And so you're well below the 4% withdrawal rule that most advisors want to look at from a conservative basis to make sure that you're in a successful retirement. So now that I've figured out my gap number, so $120,000 a year is what I need, $72,000 is my guaranteed income coming in, I need to withdraw about $48,000 a year or $4,000 a month off the portfolio. How do I structure the portfolio to make sure that I get that consistent income? Think of your life in 4 stages or buckets. Now, the next 0 to roughly 12 to 24 months. Soon, the next 2 to 5. Midterm, the next 5 to 10-ish plus years. And then long-term or legacy, 10 plus years. So in this scenario, if I need $48,000 a year, we're gonna round up to 50 to keep the math simple. I need roughly about $100,000 or 2 years of expenses in my now bucket. Now, that doesn't have to sit in cash and do absolutely nothing. You can put that in a high yield savings account, a money market account. You can ladder a CD, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and so on. And so they come due every so often. From that now bucket, $4,000 a month will come out every month and go into your bank account. So the $6,000 from your Social Security, pension, whatever your guaranteed income is going to be into your bank account, plus the $4,000, you're going to get your $10,000 on a monthly basis. That's now your paycheck coming in for your retirement. From that $100,000, I need to ladder out my soon bucket. So I would put roughly about $250,000 into that bucket and locking up essentially the next 7 years of retirement need. Now bucket has about $100,000 in it the next 2 years. And then your soon bucket, the 2 to 5 year, is going to have roughly about $250,000 in it, about 5 years of retirement needs. Now in that soon bucket, you can do longer term laddered CDs, you can do money markets, you can do annuities, fixed annuities if it works for what you're trying to accomplish. You can do treasuries, you can do bonds. In general, that is a relatively safe position, but the idea is to have a little bit more duration, a little bit more income generation on that portfolio to outpace inflation. As you spend down the now bucket, money that comes due in the soon bucket moves directly into the now bucket. So as you spend down the $100,000, you then have money in the soon bucket that replaces money in the now bucket. Filling out the midterm and long-term bucket depends on your risk tolerance and what your goals you're trying to accomplish are. Growth here, but moderate growth and not super aggressive. So in this scenario, we have about $1.15 million left. So in your midterm bucket, your 5 to 10 plus year bucket, I would have somewhere between roughly $750,000 to $550,000, again, depending on your risk tolerance and what you're trying to accomplish. That's going to be more of a moderate investment approach, trying to get growth and outpace inflation. If there's some market fluctuation, I'm okay with that because I have time to make up. Because again, in my now and my soon bucket, I have stashed away roughly 7 years of retirement. As the now bucket is replaced with the soon bucket, the midterm bucket replaces the spend down of the soon bucket. And then your legacy long-term bucket. This is going to be your most aggressive bucket depending on your risk tolerance and what you're trying to accomplish. In this scenario, I will have somewhere between $400,000 and $600,000. Again, depending on your goals, you're trying to leave legacy behind, your longevity of your life, and various other scenarios we're looking at going forward. This is going to be the most aggressive portfolio in your risk tolerance. This may be 70+% stocks. The idea is you are spending down the now bucket, the soon bucket, and the midterm bucket to live your retirement over the next 10 to 15 years. Legacy bucket, long-term bucket, grows and outpaces the inflation standpoint, the other three buckets. This bucket then will replace some of those funds or leave a legacy behind depending on your life. And so this way, you consistently have the $4,000 a month coming out of the now bucket. As the now bucket is spent down, you move money from the soon bucket into the now bucket, money from the midterm bucket into the soon bucket, and spend those down. You have created a paycheck for yourself to create the retirement that you want. You don't have to think about, do I take a lump sum here? Do I take money out? Market's down. Do I take less? You've created the environment that you have the portfolio set up for the distributions on a monthly basis. You've laddered out the various structures to replace that money that's spent down in the now bucket, and you have a long-term bucket that outpaces inflation to keep up with the rest of the portfolio growth. And in the ideal situation, market conditions and everything works, you've spent down the money to live on retirement. The legacy bucket and part of the midterm bucket continues to grow. And when you get towards the end of your life, depending on your goals, you hopefully have similar to the initial $1.5 million you invested with. You lived your life and you have legacy goals to leave as much. I appreciate you watching this video. I hope this was helpful explaining how to replace your paycheck in retirement. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me in the comments below.